Hello, friends. In the last episode, I talked about cultural mind, the fact that African societies need their own cultural minds in order to foster development in their respective societies or cultures. With regards to that, I said that Ubuntu, it seems to me, is the underlying or fundamental cultural mind of African societies and cultures. Whereby I said that Ubuntu means I am because we are. That is the general understanding about this principle. Now, today I would like to elaborate on that. And one thing I want to say is that Ubuntu originally means humanity or humanness. And it is connected with a question: what does it mean to be human? Or what does it take to live as a human being? Before I touch on this question, let me give you an analogy. I think with the analogy, then we'll be able to understand that particular question. You know, there are a lot of things in the world or in the universe as such. There are trees, plants, animals, rocks, stones, stars, and other things. And with all these, there is one important understanding and knowledge to that. Everything in this world, be it water, plant, or whatever, live according to its nature or identity. For instance, trees live according to their nature and identity by providing oxygen as well as shade for all of us. Water live according to their nature and identity by doing what? Quenching thirst. The same thing applies to the sun. The sun live according to its nature by giving us sunlight, of which we know the benefit and the functions and the advantages of the sunlight. The same applies to air, water bodies, and the other things. Can you imagine what will happen to us if these things that I have mentioned don't live according to your identity and nature? So, if, for example, water that helps us to quench our thirst doesn't live according to its nature and identity as water, then you know the consequences. We will suffer as human beings. If the plant or if the tree doesn't live according to its nature by providing what I call shade or oxygen, then you know the consequence, the effect. We will suffer as human beings. So the point is that nature is successful because everything in nature live according to its identity. In nature, the same principle applies to human beings. So with the Ubuntu principle, what it means is that if human beings in a community or in a society wants to live and organize their society, or better still, to have a successful organization of a society or to develop their society, then there is one condition. And that condition is that they live as human beings. So if we want to develop African societies and cultures, then the human beings in these respective societies should live as human beings. So now we come to the question, what does it mean to be human? What does it take to live as a human being? Before I touch on that, I would like to illustrate it with some kind of example in the animal kingdom. You see, the lion. When the lion perceives around and sees an animal, what comes to mind? The animal or the lion sees the animal passing by not as another animal, but as a source of meat. So that's why lions always chase the other animals in the animal kingdom, because they see those animals as source of meat. That is their perception. So, in this sense, the lion as an animal lives according to its instinct. It lives impulsively. It doesn't reflect on its actions, because that is what it is. That is what its nature is. In the same way, human beings are fundamentally or essentially different from animals. So if we want to develop and organize our societies, then we don't have to live like the lion, but we live as human beings. And I would like to say that it takes a lot of factors into consideration to live as a human being. So Ubuntu means humanness or humanity, or it is a call to live as a human being. Now, the question remains unanswered. What does it take to live as a human being according to Ubuntu principle? With this question, we'll tackle it in the next video. So try as much as possible to stay tuned and share this video. Let me see your comment. Let us continue to chat and discuss about Africa and its societies, cultures, and development in the comment section. And don't forget to like the video and spread the good news. Goodbye. Let's meet another time. and continue with the good work that we are doing. Bye bye.